Let's take a look at some ways the ancients said are the entrances to get to the underworld. Number 1. Cape Matapan Caves. To get to these, we will travel to the southernmost tip of the Greek mainland. Cape Matapan is known as Cape Tainaron or Tenaro. It is situated on the end of the peninsula known as the Mani. The caves open up at sea level into a cliff beneath the exact point marked by the ruins of a Spartan temple above. When Orpheus traveled down to Hades to rescue Eurydice, it was said to be through the cave of Matapan. Hercules likewise used these caverns when he made his descent to the underworld. This also has been listed as the point Cerberus was brought up from Hades. The caves at Matapan can still be entered by visitors. However, a boat is required to pass through the watery mouth of the entrance. Number 2. Hekla. For this one, we'll have to move over to Iceland. Hekla is a stratovolcano and can be found in the southern mountains of Iceland. A fiery pit of lava that has long been associated with the fiery pit in Christian teachings. In the Middle Ages, Cistercian monks traveled far and wide across Europe carrying tales of Hekla, hell. A monk named Benedict named Hekla as the eternal prison of Judas in a poem he wrote about the voyages of Saint Brendan from 1120. Later, in 1341, the medieval manuscript Flatty Book Annal describes large birds that were reported flying inside the crater. There have been more than 20 serious eruptions recorded here since 874 AD, but in recent years, Hekla has been quite peaceful. Number 3. Fengdu, City of Ghosts. This one will take us over to the heart of China in Chongqing. Here lies a city of ghosts with close ties to Naraka, the Chinese underworld. Visitors at Fengdu are treated to a rare glimpse in the workings of the underworld. The 2,000-year-old settlement is located on Ming Hill at the northern end of the Yangtze River. The settlement was founded in 206 BC. The two officials were Yin and Wang, were later given the title for one of the rulers of hell. The most striking feature of this area is a giant king carved in a rock face looking down on the city. It measures 138 meters tall and 217 meters across. It is the largest rock sculpture in the world. Number 4. Lacus Curtius. This one is going to take us over to Rome, Italy. Thousands of tourists flock to the Roman Forum to see this landmark, to see the small stone that stands at the Forum's heart. It was recorded to serve as an entrance to the Underworld. According to legend, an oracle foretold the fall of Rome. The message, Quo Plurium Populus Romanus Posset, warned that the city would crumble unless it was prepared to sacrifice that which it held most dear. A chasm opened in the center of the Forum to accept the offering. Lacus Curtius sacrificed his own life after gearing in full armor. He rode his horse into the pit. The chasm closed over his head, and Rome was saved. Number 5. Actun, Tunichil, Muknal Cave. For this gate, we'll make our way over to Belize, where the Mayans believed the network of caves was the entrance to their underworld. Xibalba. The name Actun, Tunichil, Muknal translates to the Cave of Crystal Sculpture. The site is located in the Tapir Mountain Native Reserve. The stories from Mayans describe rivers of blood and scorpions and a vast subterranean labyrinth ruled over by the Mayan death gods, the lords of Xibalba. There are numerous landmarks that make this network interesting, one of which is the chamber of stalactites known as the cathedral. Amongst the fragments of pottery and bone discovered, there was a skeleton of a young girl whom has been nicknamed the Crystal Maiden. Her bones have calcified to create a shimmering crystal effect. Other bones found to the network have also calcified, just not to the extent of the Crystal Maiden. Number 6. The Gates of Guinea. For this gate, we will travel to New Orleans, Louisiana. Voodoo mythology thinks the dead are sent to purgatory before meeting their ancestors in the deep waters. This is known as Guinea and is presided over by the Motorius Loa, named Baron Samedi. According to the belief, there are 7 gates, and one must open the 7 in the correct order. Although the locations of the exact location of the gates have never been disclosed, there have been oblique suggestion over the years that a clue may lie in the Vivi, which is the sigil of Baron Samedi. This appears as a crucifix surmounted by 7 stars. The symbol may serve as a map of sorts. Once aligned over the crossroads of Canal Street and Basin Street in the city French Quarter, the stars of the Vivi seem to fall on notable cemeteries. I did a bit of research myself on this area, and my guess is that this here is a marker. This may be the entrance. Number 7. Plutos Gate. This one is going to take us to Denizli province in Turkey. This ancient Greek site, known as Plutos Gate or the Plutonian, has only recently been rediscovered in Turkey. An archaeological dig revealed the remains of an ancient temple situated on the thermal spring and a long believed to be the gateway of the Underworld. This well-documented temple disappeared from records sometime around the 6th century. One feature of this gate are the toxic fumes which waft out from the tunnels beneath. In ancient times, these were inhaled by the priests of Pluto, promptly sending them into hallucinogenic trance states. Writing at some time around the year 0 AD, the Greek philosopher Strabo claimed that any animal that passes inside meets instant death. Even now, the poisonous vapors claim the lives of birds that fly or nest too close to the ruin. Number 8. St. Patrick's Purgatory. This gate takes us westward to Ireland. In Christian scripture, this serves as an entrance to hell. Founded in the 15th century, St. Patrick's Purgatory is a small monastery located on Ireland's Station Island. According to the story, St. Patrick himself once visited the island, whereupon Jesus sent him visions of the torments of hell. The cave where the saint received these hallucinations was later confirmed to be an entrance to Satan's pit, and the monastery was duly built to plug the hole. Many travel to the Station Island annually to undertake a 3-day contemplation on the nature of hell, with pilgrims expected to make the entire trip barefooted. It is described as the toughest pilgrimage in all of Europe, perhaps even in the whole Christian world. Number 9. Chinoiki Jigoku. Now we will travel far east to Beppu City, Japan. The next gateway takes the primordial form of a bubbling pool of hellish reddish slime. The city is home to a series of 9 hot springs, each one flowing in a different color and composition. The springs have been mentioned in Buddhist texts dating back as early as 700 AD, and nowadays the mud from these pools can be bought as a soothing skin cream. However, at the heart of the spa, there lies a dark legend with the pool known as Chinoiki Jigoku, or the Bloody Hell Pond. The rich color coming from natural iron oxide deposits on the pond bed. This is presided over by a collection of sculpted demons, some carved into rocks themselves. The Buddhists liken the appearance of the pool to the bubbling pits of hell, and in times gone by, the bloody pond, reckoned at about 78 degrees Celsius, was sometimes used to torture prisoners before boiling them alive. Number 10. The Cave of Sybil. The last we will look at is in Naples, Italy, and it is the oldest of all of these. a diabolical portal well known to the ancient Romans and first described in writings over 2,000 years ago. In the classic work, the Aeneid, Virgil describes a cave with 100 entrances that led deep beneath the earth and as far as the underworld itself. The gates of hell are open day and night. Smooth the descent and easy is the way. Virgil wrote his description in the 1st century BC, and it tells the story of the Trojan hero Aeneas. It was in this cave, located in Cumae, a Greek settlement close to modern-day Naples, that Aeneas encountered the Sybil. The Cumaean Sybil was an oracle whose sung prophecies echoed endlessly around the hollow caverns. At the age of 700, she served as a guide to Aeneas as he descended through the caves to hell below. Explorers in the Middle Ages searched in vain for Virgil's Antro della Sibilia. It wasn't until 1932 that archaeologist Amedeo Maiari finally discovered this well-documented entrance to the netherworld. Now incorporated into the Cumae archaeological site, it is possible for tourists to visit the Cave of Sybil for themselves and to experience those haunting echoes described so many years ago. As many voices issue in the sound of Sybil's words, as many times rebound.